to transform your life in 15 minutes. Here's your host, Pia McAdams.
Good morning, and welcome to Transform Your Life. My name is Pia. I am an author. I'm also an accounting professor and a certified life coach. I specialize in personal and small business finance and also fitness. I help people reach their goals. And on this live broadcast, we are doing 5-minute exercises, one each for the mind, the body, and the soul. And this month, sorry, my voice is still a little scratchy here, but this month we are talking about self-discipline. But today specifically, we're going to be talking about speaking kindly, being nice to yourself, and more importantly, to have a PMA. And by PMA, I mean a positive mental attitude. So very important. It is one of the most important links to success and happiness, is having a positive outlook. Now, I want you to know, starting right off, is that you have like an invisible talisman that you carry around with you every single day. And on one side of it is your PMA, and on the other side is your NMA. So what am I talking about? Well, PMA we talked about as being a positive mental attitude. And then the NMA is a negative mental attitude. So can you guess what it is that you carry around with you every single day? Yes, you got it. It is your mind, okay? Your mind. And then this is the thing about your mind, okay? The default is the NMA, so the negative mental attitude. So you walk around default negative, you have to switch it to make it positive, all right? So now this kind of brings me to a lesson I talked about before, but it's very, very important, so I'm going to bring it up again. Because for some of you, this is your first time watching me. By the way, if it is, welcome. Thank you for joining me. And then for some of you, maybe you missed this particular episode. And then plus, as you know, because I say it all the time, right? Repetition is the mother of learning. Okay, so if I'm repeating things over and over again, it's because I want you to get it. And guess what? I'm not talking about consciously. Consciously, you're going to get it. I'm talking about subconsciously, because that's where the majority of the things that we need to work on is subconsciously. And so consciously, you may say, okay, I got it. But trust me, it's the subconscious mind that I'm trying to reprogram, not just for you, but for myself as well, for a positive effect. And to do that, you need repetition. And just kind of drive that point home really, really quick. What's 7 times 7? Okay? So when you were learning your multiplication tables, that repetitive over and over and over again, okay, that's how it got stuck into your subconscious mind. So you probably have to think, if I said, what was 7 times 7? Just automatically came 49 to your mind, hopefully, right? Well, anyway, I wanted to bring a picture of your mind to mine. So if I say to you, what does your mind look like? What is the picture that comes up? And for some of you, you're thinking of your brain, but guess what? Your brain is not your mind. So I'm going to show you a picture of your mind right here. Hold on, let me try to get the glare out of it. Okay, here we go. And I understand this backwards, okay, but work with me here. All right, so this is a picture of your mind. Okay, so I'm going to kind of step back. Oh, if I step back, it's going to get blurry. But anyway, you see it, right? So on the top portion of your mind, this is your conscious mind. And this bottom portion right here is your subconscious mind. So this is what the conscious mind is known as, our thinking mind. So as we're talking, we're thinking, this is where it's coming from, is our thinking mind. And then the bottom portion is our subconscious mind. This is known as our emotional mind. This is where all our feelings are stored. And as you can see, this bottom part here is the body. Now, all of our habits and our beliefs are stored subconsciously. And based upon that, that's the portion right here that determines our actions or results or lack thereof, okay? So the reason why I'm bringing this to your mind at this point, because again, we're talking about having a positive mental attitude, is because your conscious mind is also known as, I call it the drill sergeant. And what is the purpose, the drill sergeant. And what is the purpose of a drill sergeant? Yes, to give orders, okay? So that's what your conscious mind does. It gives orders. Now, your subconscious mind is known as what? The recruits. And what is the purpose of recruits? Okay, what is the only thing that a recruit is going to say to a drill sergeant? And the answer is yes. Okay, so yes. So if you think in terms of anything that you think about, okay, anything that you say verbally, mentally, consciously, your subconscious mind is going to agree with you. And that's why it's very, very important for you to have a PMA, or a positive mental attitude. Good morning, Matt. Good to see you. All right. So it's very, very important, because let's say something like you say, well, I can't do this. You're saying that consciously. So guess what your subconscious mind is saying? Saying, yes, you can't do that. And then guess what? what happens, your subconscious mind, this part is, all of it's linked to your body, but remember, because mind, body connected, it's linked, but it results in you not having any action. So in other words, you just solidified that you can't do something. So it's very, very important that you have a positive mental attitude, a positive outlook on everything. Okay, so it's very important what you're saying to yourself. Even if it's like little small things, like little negative things, like something small like I can't do this, or it's impossible. Okay, it's a bad day, I'm not doing good, I'm not feeling good. All of those things that you're saying, you're subconsciously programming, and that subconscious mind, guys, is the one that actually results in your actions and those habits that you have programmed in. And so when you're saying those things, you're actually like you're laying out your grave for yourself. Okay, so if you're trying to be successful, and particularly remember, we're talking about self-discipline, and self-discipline is going to lead to your success. If you're trying to be successful, it's very important that you have a PMA, or a positive mental attitude. Now, some of the real benefits really quick that I want to talk about is, one, by having a positive mental attitude, it's going to boost your motivation. So if you're having a hard time motivating yourself, think about what are your thoughts that's going on? What are you saying to yourself? Okay, what are you saying to yourself? If you're having problems with having actions, okay, with the self-discipline, what are you saying to yourself? Because if you have a PMA, it's going to boost your motivation. Number two is it's going to increase your productivity. All right, if you have a positive outlook. So in other words, start talking more positive to yourself. And I get it. If you're normally, because again, remember the default of that invisible talisman is negativity, right? Now keep in mind, when I'm saying the talisman, I'm still talking about your mind. I don't have it here because it's invisible. The default is the negativity. That's what you're talking. And there's a reason for this. Like I said, I've talked about this before, and I only have 5 minutes, but it goes back to when we were little and we were programmed. Think about how many times we've heard the word no. We heard the word no way more times than we heard the word yes. And so when I'm saying that word, the default is a NMA for a negative mental attitude, that's everybody, because growing up, we typically heard the word no and negativity. And guess what? That gets programmed easier than the positive stuff. And the reason why I say this is because as I'm talking to you now, sharing with you the reasons why you should have a positive outlook or speak positively to yourself, when you initially do it, particularly if you're not used to it, it's going to seem like you're being fake and it's being phony and it's not real. Well, that's okay. All right. Fake it until you make it. Okay. Remember, it's about that repetition. So if you keep consciously thinking about what it is, your thoughts that you're having, then over time it will become programmed in the subconscious mind so that it will become a default. And by the way, when you wake up in the morning, turn that invisible talisman to that PMA, that positive mental attitude. In other words, consciously say to myself, I'm going to have a good day. And then if you say that first thing in the morning, if you set that intention, I guarantee you it'll be easier for you to have that positive outlook on life. Or if you just wake up and just go with it as the day flows and not set an intention, guess what? The default is going to be that negative mental attitude, okay? All right, so we talked about boosting your motivation. We talked about increasing your productivity. And it's also going to lead to accomplishment. Because obviously if you're being positive, you're being motivated, it's going to increase your productivity, and you're going to accomplish things. And then it's also going to give you a feeling of well-being. Don't you just feel good when you're positive? Like, think about this. Think about when you're around people that are negative. Doesn't it kind of like bring you down? It's like, man, I was feeling good, and all of a sudden that person, I'm running around that person and all negative, feels bad. Well, think about the opposite. When someone's negative and you're positive, now one of two effects. Either they're gonna feel more positive, or it's a lot of times more so they're gonna get you down. But it's you feel good, and then it brings a well-being around other people too. Because if obviously negativity, like if you know anything about negative and positive, negative is gonna trump the positive 9 times out of 10. Okay. However, how do you feel? Okay, and that's what's important. So it's important for you to be around other people that are positive. And guess what? When you are positive, you're going to attract other positive people. So you don't have to worry about the negativity. Now, I understand like some of you saying, well, I live with someone that's negative and it's hard. And I get that, right? It is hard. But if you just keep your positive outlook and then you surround yourself around more positive things, that's going to charge you more. It's going to give you a more positive charge so that when you're around someone negative, you're not going to go down so much. Where if you don't do anything to protect your energy, then you're just with like a tumbleweed. You're just going to blow with the wind, and you don't want to have that. All right. So bottom line, guys, be kind to yourself. Set that intention every single day to have a PMA, which is a positive mental attitude. And guess what? It's something that you carry around with you every single day. It goes with your mind. And it's very, very important that you do that so that you can have success in your life. All right, so hopefully this information was helpful for you. And now it's going to bring us to our second portion of the broadcast. And this is where we're going to be doing some yoga. So I know for some of you, you may be on the East Coast. This may be time where you're just like getting ready for work. And so you say, I only have time to listen. I can't really watch. But please make it a point to join in and do some type of movement, some yoga later on. Even if it's in your office, you can close your door and just do like a little 5-minute segment here or later on, if you will. And for those of you that are on the West Coast and saying, this is so early in the morning, guess what? This is the best time to get things done. I shared with you guys in the past, make sure I have everything. I shared with you in the past that as an entrepreneur and fortunate enough to have my own schedule, I don't have to get up 5:30 in the morning. Well, actually, I get up way before 5:30. Like a lot of times I get up at 4:30, sometimes 3:30. I don't have to get up that early in the morning, right? But this is the most productive time. And remember, anything I do is there's a reason behind, there's a motive, there's an intention behind everything I do. This is the best time to get things done is early in the morning, right? Very, very early morning. Why? Because a lot of times what you do is a couple reasons, but you put things off, right? And then if you say, let's say, for instance, working out, because part of my morning routine involves working out, not just this yoga, but actual, more in-depth workout. But a lot of times what happens is you have the intention of working out, and then later on, you go to work and say, I'm going to work out after work. And then things happen, life happens, and something comes up, and you don't ever get it done. Well, if you do the most important things first thing in the morning, then there's no excuse. You already have it done. Right, so one of these days on this segment, I'll share with you my morning routine because I think it'll be helpful for you where you can actually see my day does not start, my work day does not start until 10 a.m. Okay, so I don't check emails, any of that stuff before 10 a.m. Up until then, is my time. So one of these days, maybe I'll do it tomorrow, but I'll share with you my morning routine and how it can be helpful for you to set a morning routine as well. Have an evening routine. Don't forget, I have routines. I'm a routine person, right? No, not really. A lot of times I do, like for instance, I do have a bedtime routine that I do, but I don't want you to think like I'm just so strict. It's about discipline. It's not a chore for me. I enjoy doing my routines. This is fun for me. And then I'm flexible. So, and again, when I share it with you, I'll go into more detail. But now it's time for yoga. So go ahead and take your 3 deep breaths. Get yourself centered, grounded, and aligned. Okay, very, very important. And then also set your intention, what it is that you want to accomplish for this next 5 minutes. And while you're doing that, I'll get the music on. And you know what? I knew I was forgetting something. Forgot my music. But that's okay. Hopefully you can hear. If not, then I'll fix it. Let's see. Yeah. Hopefully you can hear that. Because I left the speaker in the other room. If you can't hear it, sorry. All right. Meet me on the mat. All right, so we come to the tabletop. Palms and knees. Palms are directly underneath your shoulders. Knees are directly underneath your hip. Head is natural extension of the spine, which is in the neutral position. Go ahead and go internally and see what's going inside of you. You have any tension, strain, stress that's going on. And we're going to address those areas. Remember, each day is a new day. By the way, happy Thursday. Happy to be here this morning. But see what's going on with you at this particular moment in time. All right, and then use your breath to address those tight areas in your body. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, once you drop your chin down to your chest, I want you to round through the spine and tuck your tailbone under. This is a cow position. As you inhale, your head and chest comes forward. Tailbone sticks out toward the back of the room. This is a cat. And I love doing the cat-cow. Just kind of use your breath and continue moving on in these two poses. It's a great way to loosen up the body, limber up the spine, warm up the core, and it just overall feels good. And this is one of the reasons why I do this 9 times out of 10 in the morning. Because I love this as the first time. 2 poses to do the warm up the body. Now this time as you exhale, I want you to curl those toes under, and I want you to take it to downward facing dog, which is Adho Mukha Savasana, and just start to pedal your legs. Again, you're going on internally, seeing what's going on. Make sure your head is in alignment with your biceps. You're pressing your chest toward your thighs and your knees. And on the opposite knee, the one that's not being bent, you're lifting the kneecap to engage that quadricep, giving just a little deeper stretch on that hamstring. And then just kind of do what feels good to you. You can sway your body side to side. Just getting little gentle stretches here. Again, just going on to see what's going on internally with your body. Particularly if you're doing yoga the first thing in the morning, just do what feels good to you. All right, yoga is a practice. All right, now keep your palms down flat. I want you to slowly walk your feet in toward your palms. And if you need to, go ahead and bend your knees, particularly if your hamstrings are not nice and loose. Then I want you to slowly round it up. Stacking your spine one vertebrae at a time. And you're making sure that your head is the last to rise. And we're coming to Tadasana, which is mountain pose. All right, so your feet are together slightly a distance apart. Your chest is lifted. Your head is a natural extension of the spine. Pretend like there's a string attached from the crown of your head all the way up to the sky. Bringing your shoulders drawn back toward your shoulder blade or toward your spine. As we inhale, we're going to take the arms up overhead. And as we exhale, we're going to swan dive the body forward. And as we inhale, we're going to look up halfway. And as we exhale, we're going to flatten out the palms. You're going to step back, right, left into the plank. As you continue exhaling, release your knees, your chest, and then your chin. And as you inhale, we're going to come up to the cobra. Now I'm taking it to the full cobra, but if you need to, feel free to modify. It just depends on your the flexibility in that spine. And then as you exhale, we're going to curl those toes under and take it to downward facing dog. Now this is a resting position, so every time we're in this position, we're resting. If you need to modify, you can go to tabletop, which is what we started off with, or you can also go to child's pose. Now on your next inhale, we're going to bring that right knee into your chest, and as we exhale, we're going to extend that right leg all the way back, and we're going to bend the knee to open up the hip. Now you're pressing your chest toward that left thigh and the knee. Continue to breathe, nice deep ujjayi breath. Then we're going to extend that right leg, and in one swoop, we're going to bring the foot toward the fingertips. You're going to bring that left knee down toward the mat, uncurl the toe, and you're going to take it up to the low lunge. Now open up the chest again. Go back as far as feels comfortable to you. If it's not comfortable because of the inflexibility of the spine, feel free to be here. Or again, just feel whatever feels comfortable to you with the range of motion. You're pressing your hips down toward the mat, making sure that front knee is directly over the ankle. So in other words, you're not like this, okay? So don't bring that knee over the ankle. Make sure the knee is right in alignment with the ankle. Open up your hands, palms up toward the sky. Take a nice deep breath. And as you exhale, we're going to bring the palms together at the heart center. We're going to rotate over to the right and then hinge. Now, I don't want you to rest your torso on top of that right knee. I want you to lift up your torso, and you're going to rotate your spine. You're looking up over that right shoulder. Now let's go ahead and take that left hand down. The right arm opens up. Now your gaze follows that thumb, that right thumb. Unless there's any strain or stress, then feel free to look forward or to look down. All right, go ahead and take that on the next exhale. I want you to straighten out that right leg and then hinge forward. Now this position, you're going to feel a nice gentle stretch on that hamstring. As you're breathing, as you exhale, I want you to direct the breath toward the hamstring, which is going to be that tight area. And then you're going to, on the exhale, just bring that chest a little closer to that thigh, just getting a little deeper stretch here. All right, go ahead and bend the knee, place the palms down flat, take that right leg back, and then take it back to the plank. And we're going to go through the vinyasa flow. So release your knee, chest, chin, or you can chaturanga and dandasana. You can cobra or up dog. And then curl those toes under and take it back to downward facing dog. Relax those shoulders, take them down and away from the ears. Now on the next breath, you're going to bring that left knee into the chest. Then we're going to extend that left leg all the way back. And then we're going to bend that left knee. Again, your chest is pressed toward that right thigh and knee. Lift that kneecap to engage the quadricep. A little deeper stretch on that hamstring. And continue to breathe. Nice deep ujjayi breath. Now we're going to extend that left leg, and then in one swoop, we're going to bring that left foot toward the fingertips. And then we're going to bring that right knee down toward the mat, uncurl the toe, and then take it up. to the low lunge. Relax the shoulder. Again, head stays in line with the bicep. Open up the palms. Range of motion depending on your flexibility or whatever feels comfortable to you. Relax those shoulders. Looking up toward the sky. On the next exhale, we're going to bring the palms together at the heart center. Rotate over toward the left. Placing the outer part of that right elbow, that left knee. Lift up that torso, twist it, looking over that left shoulder. Again, making sure that you're breathing. And then release the palm, right palm down, left arm opens up. And again, your gaze follows that thumb, or you can look straight or look down. Pressing the hip down toward the mat. And on the exhale, you're going to straighten out that left leg and hinge forward. Now, it's not uncommon for you to have one side to be tighter than the other. This side is actually tighter for me than the other one, so I'm not going down as far. But use your breath. As you inhale, just kind of hold your position. As you exhale, surrender and release. Again, just go whatever feels comfortable to you. No pain. Don't overdo it. Just kind of relax and surrender with your breath. All right, so go ahead and bend that knee. Place the palm down flat. And then take that left leg back and continue with your vinyasa flow. Knee, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana. Cobra. Or up dog. Relax the shoulder. And then curl the toes under. And exhale the downward facing dog. Couple deep breaths here in this position. Thumbs are facing inward, middle fingers are facing forward. Again, hands in alignment with your bicep. Then I want you to slowly walk your feet in. Again, toward your palms. Bend your knees if you have to. Now this time, I want you to take your palms. I want you to clasp the outer part of your elbows. Let the crown of your head bring your body weight naturally forward. We're forward folding into Uttanasana here. And on this position, as you inhale, again, just kind of hold your position. And as you exhale, surrender and release. Now for some of you, if you're just up here, then this is okay. Just as you exhale, just kind of surrender and release. All right? Depending on your flexibility, it's going to determine the forward fold for you. Remember, you don't want to overdo it. No competition when it comes to yoga. Just do what feels comfortable to you. Now go ahead and release your fingertips down toward the mat. Then I want you to slowly round yourself up. Taking it one vertebrae at a time. Again, making sure that your head is last to rise. Draw your shoulders down and back. So we inhale, we're going to take the arms up overhead. Exhale, dive the body forward. This time we're going to place the palms down flat. Walk your feet out toward the edge of the mat, toe heel. As you exhale, release the tailbone down toward the mat. Bring your palms together at heart center, using those elbows to push down those inner thighs. Bow your head down while we're in Malasana. Go ahead and extend some gratitude. Then release your palms to the mat, take them behind, and then slowly start to transition yourself into a comfortable seated position facing forward. Making sure that you're on your sits bones, not the fleshy part of your bottom. As you inhale, take the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, release the fingertips down toward the mat. Use your full breath. Take your time. Again, nice deep breath. Inhaling. And exhale. One more time, draw the breath in. This time we're going to bring in all of that positive energy. Greet the palms together at the very top. So we exhale, we bring our palms down to the heart center, and we say, Namaste. All right, thank you for practicing yoga with me. This brings us to the third and final exercise, and this is where we're going to be doing the meditation. All right, so for this meditation, we're going to be doing a 2-minute meditation. Let me just kind of explain to you what we're going to be doing. So you're going to be breathing, focusing on your breath, and you're going to be counting your exhales, okay? Good morning, Nisi. I think that's Nisi. I don't have my glasses on. I think that's my Nisi, my BFF. All right, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be counting your exhales, okay? Now, at any time, if you become distracted by outside distractions, whether it be outside or internal distractions known as thoughts, what you're going to do is first acknowledge the distraction, and then you're going to bring your attention back to your breath and begin counting all over with again with number 1. Okay, so all you're going to be doing is counting your exhales for the next 2 minutes. Before we get started, I always like to say, get yourself centered, grounded, and aligned. So we're going to start off with 3 deep Ujjayi breaths. Then you're going to set your intention. All right, so a good intention for this portion of the broadcast is for you to keep your focus on your breath for the next 2 minutes. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's go and take a nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Again, deep breath, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. One more time, nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose. And this time as you exhale, I want you to go ahead and close your eyes and begin your counting. Are going to release, relax, return, refreshed, and calm. You've done something good for yourself today. I want to thank you for taking the time to meditate with me, and also thank you for taking the time to watch this Transform Yourself in 15 Minutes. Guys, please share this information with your family and friends. I really appreciate it. And your word for today is enchanting. I want you to have a very enchanting day, and I will see you the same time tomorrow. Bye.